English tradition, isn't it? We love all of the Christmas football, and what a time to have all the football back as well after the World Cup break, with Arsenal top of the Premier League table, 5 points clearly, Anne. It's theirs to lose, so how will they handle the pressure?
I think I'm probably one of the only people that I feel like for a few months, even before the World Cup, was saying that they can do it. You know, I said, if no one's going to try, you know, and just say, oh, Man City are going to win it every year, no one else might as well bother turning up. And Man City, we know they're one of the best teams in the world, but the only thing that concerns me now is about Gabriel Jesus being injured. I think it's obviously, people spoke about this before, if Arsenal got any injuries, and Nketiah will probably come in and he's just not at that same level as Jesus. Now, Jesus wasn't scoring, but it's what he brings to the team. So they've obviously got top players, but for me, you know, players like Odegaard, Martinelli, they've been brilliant. Partey, brilliant. Saliba, coming back off loan. So, you know, I think they can do it. I genuinely do. And I think it gets to this point where I don't think Arsenal fans believe it yet, because obviously last year, it was theirs to lose in the top four, and then they ended up throwing it away. They're 2 games in hand. But I genuinely believe you've got to put some respect on Arsenal's name, because they've been very, very good. And at times when I've called for Mikel Arteta, I'm like, well, why has he not been questioned in his job? We're now seeing the plan come into fruition of what he's been doing for a long time, and I think they've been brilliant. I really do.
5 goals, 5 assists. That's what they're losing with Gabriel Jesus. But as Leanne points out, it's not just in that contribution in terms of numbers. It's what he does for the rest of the team on the pitch and the space he provides for the players around him as well. If we believe what Arteta said in his press conference, that Nketiah will probably start down the middle, do they have enough firepower with him, Martinelli, perhaps Emile Smith-Rowe coming back to fitness as well in the team to provide a bit of spark up top?
Well, the players that you mentioned can provide goals. There are other players who can step up to the plate and score goals, but what none of them possesses the ability to draw defenders out of position, worried defenders out of position, to provide the space for other players to score goals and do what they do best. They have scored goals, Arsenal, in pre-season, or this mini pre-season before the restart, and they have won games in that pre-season as well. And Arteta, as you would expect, is being quite bullish. What I think will decide this game is defences, because Arsenal's is far better. You were talking about Saliba, and Saliba's the leader at the back. Gabriel alongside him has been terrific at both full-back positions. I mean, Tomiyasu's superb, and he can't even get into the Japan side at the World Cup. I remember watching World Cup saying, where's Tomiyasu on the bench for?
Yeah,
you know, that's how good they are. But and at the other full-back position, of course, Zinchenko is fit, is playing.
And Thierry's not even really getting a look in.
Absolutely. That's what's going to win this game, because if you look at the West Ham side, they're not as convincing at the back, and they've lost, it would appear, their 2 main strikers, Antonio and Scamacca. So it does look that even if Jesus isn't available, they do have the goal scorers in the side. I think Nketiah, he needs more experience. He certainly doesn't have the experience of winning 4 titles that Jesus has, but he can score goals. And if they can get goals in this game, they'll win it.
How will he manage that pressure that will inevitably be on him? He knows he's coming in to replace Gabriel Jesus. Will it be okay for a player of his age and experience level to sort of have that on his shoulders? Will he be feeling it?
I think he's been around Arsenal long enough now. You know, he had a loan spell at Leeds, but I think this is the opportunity that he's been waiting for. There was talk about him saying he wanted to leave and then he re-signed another contract. So this is what he's been waiting for. So he needs to step up. Do I think he can? Yes and no, really. You know, obviously when he made his debut, scored in the League Cup, but it's a different level. You know, no disrespect to the League Cup, but I think playing in for Arsenal, leading the line, this is the chance what he's been waiting for, and he needs to take it with both hands. There's no reason why he can't. And I agree with what Darren said about Gabriel Jesus. You know, the work rate of that guy is incredible. The way he brings it, you know, he's always got that. That's what Nketiah, him and Nketiah are so different, aren't they?
Yeah.
But this is the chance, and if I was Nketiah, I'd be really delighted he's going to get this opportunity, and Arteta believes in him, because otherwise he wouldn't be playing him.
I've said before, Jesus is the kind of guy, he plays like a pirate with a knife between his teeth. You know, he's got that kind of edge and that drive, and he gets into scrapes, and he's a street fighter in a way. Nketiah's a nice boy, but he needs to develop that edge. He needs to be a nuisance for defenders and give them that kind of trouble that Jesus gives them if he is to make an impact in a game like this, because it's likely to be a tough game, a physical game. It's a David Moyes side, and bear in mind, Arteta played for Moyes at Everton, and he's been talking in the press conference about the impact Arteta had.